Principal Public Health Officer, National Malaria Control Program, says Sierra Leone has seen a drop in malaria infections in its states. Preventive message.
You see where them people here wear the mask them fine? Well, now so you say for wear your mask. Cover your nose and you must autumn where you dey near other person.
Please stay safe. Coronavirus is deadly. Well, this is the news live on Slbc. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamal. The manager, National Risk Assessment and Outreach of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Augustine Gegba-Putan, has told dollar dealers in the Central Business District that government frowns at the circulation of fake dollars and is a threat to the country's economy and national development. He was speaking at a sensitization campaign on counterfeit dollars which are currently in circulation in the market. Sori Ibrahim Samoa reports.
We get fake dollar where they circulate now the system.
A couple of weeks ago, the Financial Intelligence Unit and the Sierra Leone Police alerted the public in a press release about the circulation of counterfeit or fake dollars in the market by money launderers. This menace has prompted the Financial Intelligence Unit to embark on a massive public education campaign targeting mainly dollar dealers in the central business districts. During the engagement, Manager National Risk Assessment and Outreach Financial Intelligence Unit Augustine Gegba-Putan schooled the dollar dealers about the circulation of counterfeit and fake dollars that are in the market and counted on their support to help FIU by giving them tip-offs to clamp down on these money launderers. He said government frowns at the practice, noting that such criminal practice has a negative effect on the economy and the total development of the country.
Basically, now about rolling out is we are doing public sensitization. Now, when the issue of fake currency came into being, we have taken several steps in FIU. The first thing we did was that we were able to call all the zonal leaders of dollar guys, all the zonal leaders. They have like 8 zones. We called them, we engaged them, we spoke with them, wanted to know the challenges that they have, and we tell them how we can all work together to ensure that we protect our country.
NRA officer attached to the FIU, Pamela Kaikai, called on them to serve as watchdogs and should not condone the criminals. She educated the dollar dealers on the features of counterfeit notes and its effects on the economy, citing inflation and decrease in business activities, among others. Dealers commended FIU for engaging them, noting they too were aware of the circulation of fake dollars in the market. They said it was a challenge for them and promised to work with authorities of the FIU and the Sierra Leone Police in nabbing the launderers. Ibrahim Samoa, Freetown.
That report was filed by Ibrahim Samoa. The Minister of Works and Public Assets, Peter Bayokonte, has said no illegal construction would be allowed in any of the vicinities of government quarters in the country. He made the statement during a verification tour at various government quarters within Freetown. Our reporter, Jonathan Turner, reports.
The inspection exposed the encroachment on various government premises by land grabbers. This was evident in the construction of churches, mosques, makeshift structures, shops and garages at Belia Park, Diwazak, Jomo Kenyatta Road, King Herman Road and Willoughby Lane government quarters. Eric Kamara is a shop owner at King Herman Road government quarter. He said he occupied these premises because he wanted to find shelter and survival for his family.
And it reached a time our own fate was decided by the landlords to ask us out of their premises, and we had no places to go at that time. So we decided to occupy the spaces tentatively until we had some we look for greener pastures, because that was our aim. Definitely, if any one of us here is working, we cannot continue staying here because we have our families. But that was a tentative stage. So if I thought the minister has come and is asking that we may leave, we're asking for a kind of consideration. We're asking for his consideration. So probably relocate to somewhere that is safe if at all he is yearning to bring here back.
Eric admitted he has no documents for the said premise, but pleaded with the Ministry of Works to allow him to stay in the house. But the Minister of Works and Public Assets, Peter Boyuku, contends strong moves are to ensure sanity in all government quarters.
Today, unfortunately, we have discovered that a lot of encroachments, have taken place, and therefore we are here to ask those who have encroached to come to the Minister of Works and Public Assets with their documents so that they can convince us that they have legal documents to encroach or to put up structures that are not legal.
The professional head, Ministry of Works and Public Assets, Engineer Paul Bakwe, noted that any developmental work by any citizen on government quarters should be done through the right procedures.
Nobody has right to build within government quarters. The government has ownership of this quarter for us to ensure that we provide accommodation for serving personnel, both civil and sometimes key public officials. But if they are a deemed fit for them to make use of this land, certain laws or certain decisions must be taken, you see, which we may have to look at it, whether it fits or if it is useful for us to refer to these laws which people are using to take claim or to take ownership of this.
Officials at the Ministry of Works and Public Assets also disclosed that they will demarcate, fence and protect all government quarters and property across the country. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The National Social Security and Insurance Trust (NASIT) has ended a day's site visitation with contractors at the NASIT acquired land for the construction of the regional office in the Northwest region in Port Loko. The construction of the first NASIT regional office is to get the services close to their customers. Maya Masuma went along.
Over 20 construction companies are set to bid for the construction of a new regional office for the National Social Security and Insurance Trust (NASIT) in the Northwest region in Port Loko district. These 2 acres of land is where NASIT will have its regional office and a quarter for the regional manager. General Manager Peter Jusukena said the purpose of visiting was to allow the contractors familiarize themselves with the site.
Now, what happened? Now that this region is being created, from the highest office in this land, the chief, the vice president, the Minister of Labor, and everybody else, they said, come on, your presence should be felt here. Your presence should be felt here because you want to be very close to your customers. Whatever you have done in McKinney, you have done in Kenema, you have done in Bow, you want to go and replicate that exercise in Port Loko.
Project Manager Abel Onomake told the bidders that there are set criteria that will qualify the winner of the project, adding that the bidding and selection processes will go in line with the mandate of the National Public Procurement Authority.
Criteria expectedly will include the qualification of the bidders.
It will include their track record. It will include their financial strength, so to speak. It will include the amount of plants and machinery that they have, because a project of this scale and scope will require, some amount of, sufficient plants and machinery. You cannot do everything by hand, manually.
Chiefdom Speaker Bakeloko Chiefdom Alakitawale said the construction of the regional office came at a time they were yearning for development.
In our district, and Port in particular, for the local content policy. We have got a good number of youths that are unemployed. They are here. The bidding company that is going to be to succeed in getting the work. We are not going to discourage them from not to bring people that are qualified to do their work. When it comes to exercise, let them please contact us first, to the resident minister, the provincial secretary, the mayor, myself, we sit together. We're going to give you competent people that will work with you adequately. I will not allow, that is underlined, to be bringing people from wherever to be those resources. We have them here. We will not. I have to say this. I'll be very happy when the president comes recently. I will have to tell him again.
Mohamed Saliu Bangra is a member of the Board of Trustees, NASIT. He urged the bidders, especially the one that may be selected, to use quality materials and complete the work within its time frame. He said they are paying more attention to Port Local District because it is a strategic region with international airports and many mining companies. Meanwhile, as the building is expected to be completed in less than 16 months, NASIT has rented an office space in Port Local where they will be operating till the completion of the office. The National Social Security and Insurance Trust NASIT has its regional office all over the country. What is expected from the bidders is that they give a very magnificent structure that will collaborate with the activities of this district, owing to the fact that this district is where we have many of these mining companies and also where we can find the Freetown International Airport. For Slbc News, Maria Masuma reporting.
Senior Secondary Education, Dr. David Senge, has said government gives zero tolerance to exams malpractice. It could be recalled in June this year, a joint communique was signed by the Ministry of Education, ACC and WAEC to forestall exams malpractices. But issues of exams malpractices were reported a few days ago and appear to be prevalent nationwide in the Western area, Bombali, Tonkolili, Kono and Bo districts. The Ministry of Education today briefed the press on the issue, from where Joseph Toure has the details.
So teachers are compromising their helping these students to succeed on a massive scale across the country. The use of mobile phones in the examination halls by both pupils and invigilators is unbelievable. In fact, students go with money in their pockets. 50,000 leones is now the average across the country. So they go, like they do in churches, they pass baskets and they put 50,000 leones. And that 50,000 leones is used to bribe the invigilators to allow them to use mobile phones in the examination halls so that answers can be coming in and all they can do is to transcribe.
This revelation by the ACC boss during this press briefing was an eye-opener to the growing evidence of exams malpractice. Though efforts have been made by the Ministry of Education and its partners to mitigate such a negative practice, those determined to involve in exams malpractice seem to use various strategies to beat the system. Many have accused some school authorities, certain WAEC officers and candidates of exams of misconduct in public exams. But what does WAEC say about the recent exams malpractice on the ongoing WASC that was reported earlier this week?
And those are the ones that we are investigating. There was one particular paper that was posted whilst we have an issue. But fortunately, we are told that the person who posted it online has been handed over to ACC. And we're waiting for their investigations. However, for that particular paper, I will see it whilst we've already issued the paper to the service. So any report that comes, we'll investigate fully. If we realize that our paper have been used, we'll take appropriate action.
For the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Dr. David Senge, exams malpractice is systematically organized.
We as a ministry have zero tolerance for examination malpractice. We made that clear. We have extended all our supports to our staff. We've brought in resources and financing to support government, to support our ministry staff. We have brought in leadership. We have gone and done monitoring. I have been at exam centers. All of us have been at exam centers. Our people have gone as far as we do.
However, many believe that the battle against exams malpractice can only be won when everybody joins the fight against such misconduct. The ministry has pledged to support the transportation of the examination materials to prevent leakage and work closer with law enforcement, schools and other agencies to cancel further possibilities of examination malpractice. SLBC, Joseph Toure, reporting.
Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Slbc Thomas, has described China as a gentle giant country that has transformed quickly to an advanced nation. He made the statement during a symposium organized by the Chinese Embassy on China's development and foreign policy held at the Bintumani Hotel. Francis Danema reports.
The symposium pointed out the support China has offered to the nation and the world at large. All the speakers appreciated China for standing tall to achieve their enviable economy and technological advancements. Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Slbc Thomas, said China is a gentle giant nation that used to be poor just like Sierra Leone, but grew rapidly due to their resilience and focus. He described China as a country known for pursuing independent foreign policy.
I have noticed China unswervingly pursuing an independent foreign policy of peace and cooperation with other countries on the basis of its 5 principles of mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, mutual non-aggression, non-interference in each other's affairs, equality and mutual benefit, together with peaceful coexistence. The People's Republic of China and the Republic of Sierra Leone established diplomatic relations from as far back as 1971. And I should state that this relationship has since 1971 become mutually beneficial to both countries.
Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Ramanswari, was impressed with the loan that China gave to Sierra Leone with an interest rate of just 2%.
I just mentioned that the Ministry of Information and Communications signed a concessionary loan agreement of $30 million with the Export-Import Bank of the People's Republic of China and a lending agreement between the Ministry of Finance and the Sierra Leone Cable Network, the Ministry of Finance, in August last year. The loan agreement for the National Fiber Phase 2 has negotiated interest rate of 1% and is expected to be repaid in 15 years after a grace period of 5 years. This is truly concessionary, and why is this important for us? His Excellency President Julius Malabio has pledged to ensure an effective and efficient management of the states and her resources. So the precursor loan, about $50 million from the same Exim Bank of China was negotiated at 2% interest rate. His Excellency's government ensured that this was truly concessionary. It was for a 1% interest rate. Grace period of 5 years, repayment period of 15 years. This means President Liu has living true to his word to ensure that everything he does, he puts Liu at the heart and very center of it.
Chinese ambassador to Sierra Leone, Hu Zhangliang, said China is a country that has a history of 5,000 years of civilization, stating that the Communist Party of China, or CPC, which was founded in 1921 at a time that the country had social crisis and foreign regression, has brought the country to the enviable level it is now.
For more than 40 years of reform and opening up, under the leadership of the CPC, China has introduced more than 1,600 reform plans, rolled out major reforms such as household contract system with remuneration linked to the output in rural areas, establishment of special economic zones, reform of state-owned enterprises, joining the WTO, establishment of free trade zones and free trade ports. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, the parties integrated with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, further implemented the five-sphere integrated plan, or the overall plan for promoting economic, political, cultural, social, and ecological progress, and the four-pronged comprehensive strategy that is moves to finish building a moderately prosperous society.
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Solomon Jamiru said his ministry was impressed with the cordial bilateral relationship between Sierra Leone and China and with the support Sierra Leone has gained from China, especially during the Ebola and COVID-19 outbreak. SLBC News, Francis Ndanema reporting.
The German Leprosy and TB Relief Association Sierra Leone, in partnership with the National Association for Persons Affected by Leprosy, have provided humanitarian aid to support 390 vulnerable persons affected by leprosy at Grafton and Lakar. According to beneficiaries, this gesture will help alleviate problems associated with the disease. Thomas Nin reports.
The donation is in direct response to the organization's objective to see a world where no one suffers from leprosy, tuberculosis, or any other poverty-related diseases and the consequences they bring. The program director and head of country office, German Leprosy and TB Relief Association, Cyril William Johnson, said the mode of transmission of COVID-19 put persons affected by leprosy who cannot stay at home at risk because they have to beg and possibly come in close contact with benefactors, otherwise they will suffer from hunger. He said they have been sensitized on how to stay safe during the COVID-19 period, adding that each of them will receive 25 kilograms of rice, 2 gallons of palm oil, 2 kilograms of sugar, 2 kilograms of salt, 60 cubes of Maggi, a Veronica bucket, 3 bars of soup, a face mask, and 100,000 leones to cushion the effects of the pandemic.
We normally support them even though they've gone through the treatment, but because of the disability, we've been supporting them in terms of providing food support, shelter, and other medical support.
The program director and head of country office took the opportunity to inform them that over the years, leprosy has been integrated into the general health system because it is no longer considered a public health challenge in the country. He said before the year 2000, Sierra Leone had reached the elimination target for leprosy, which is less than 1 case per 10,000 of the population. The goal of his organization, he went on, is to eliminate leprosy in all the districts and to have an effective integrated program for disabled persons affected by leprosy to reduce stigma and build self-esteem. One of the beneficiaries, Lucinda Kebi, thanked German Leprosy and team for the gesture, adding that it could not have come at a better time, especially as affected persons are faced with many challenges with regards to foodstuff. She said basic items are very expensive now in the market and the majority of them cannot afford a square meal. The German Leprosy and TB Association also donated hand washing equipment to the Lakar Hospital. Similar support was also done nationwide.
This afternoon, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Tambanawina, paid a visit to the alongside the Mayor of Freetown, Ibon Adesoya, and other authorities. The Freetown Administrative Building, which cost $56 million to construct, is a 50 15-story building housing several facilities like 500 capacity auditorium,
During the tour, an engineer first showed the team photos of the development of the building since the time of turning of the sword. The building, which is 15-story, has a functional lift. The first floor has a city hall exhibition, staff lounge, whilst the second floor houses the computer lab. The auditorium, which is located at the fourth floor, has a 500 capacity accommodation. The backstage has musical sets, loudspeakers, mics and safety lights for protection in the absence of electricity. The building also has a spacious councillor well, procurement, monitoring, evaluation and other service offices. The 13th floor is to be occupied by the mayor and deputy mayor. The 14th floor has 10 guest rooms and the 15th floor has an outstanding sky lounge, bar, staff restroom and beautiful sea view. The building is disability friendly with a special parking space for wheelchairs and a spacious car park. Each floor has toilet facilities and safety equipment. Minister of Local Government Tamba Lamina lauded the Freetown City Council and the Korean contractors for the job well done, describing the building as iconic and first of its kind in the country. He spoke on the plans they have for occupants of the building.
What transpires, it's still on paper, and as I've been speaking to the mayor, they are still considering financial options because a loan was taken and that loan needs to be paid. Whatever is proposed by Freetown City Council and of course with the government overseeing will be what will happen to this building. But at this stage, we're very happy with work and the progress of the work. We hear the termination of the project. It's in sight.
Mayor of Freetown Yvonne Akesoya said the purpose of the building is to serve Freetown residents, and she stressed on the need for maintenance culture.
It's very much open to the public. We're going to be, as the Minister said, we're working on the financial model as FCC. We've put a team together. We've been working on it for some time, working with a facility management consultant to ensure that we are able to estimate and project all the running costs of the building, from electricity to water to cleaning. Maintenance and management also comes with the decisions you make about usage. So part of that process is looking at the best use of this facility.
The building will be opened officially on 11th November this year. For SLBC News, Cynthia Kamara.
Send envoys to ensure the return of the constitutional order. There is an increased military presence outside government ministries in the capital, Bamako, but shops and businesses have been opened. The leaders of Tuesday School says election will be held in what they describe as a reasonable time. They also promised to respect international agreements on fighting jihadists. A senior official in Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party has apologized for swearing on Al Jazeera television following a heated debate with opposition members on Tuesday. Tafadzwa Mukwadi, the ZANU-PF Director of Information and Publicity, said he was making an unreserved apology for using uncouth language after losing his temper during a panel discussion with representatives of the opposition movement for Democratic Change MDC Alliance. He said although that was never meant for the interview, as he felt the interview had ended, he strongly felt he Al Jazeera, the world, Zimbabweans, and in particular Uncle Femi Oke, an unreserved apology. And finally, in the African news tonight, 6 bodyguards for South Sudan's Vice President James Wani Ika have been shot dead and another 2 wounded after their convoy was ambushed by rebels. His spokesman Callisto Lado has told the BBC. Mr. Wani was not in the convoy when it came under fire at his home village of Laponok, south of the capital Juba, on Wednesday evening. A vehicle the bodyguards were traveling in was destroyed and burnt by rebels from the National Salvation Front, NAS. He added the rebel group has not yet commented. Mr. Ika is one of 5 vice presidents in South Sudan. He is in charge of economic affairs. Well, that's it in the African News tonight. It's now time for the sports update.
In this sports update, we bring you development following the retirement of Sierra Leone's first choice goalkeeper, Solomon Zombo Morris. 2013 was a glorious year for Solomon Zombo Morris when he had his first call for the national team Leonsters against Tunisia. The start of a wonderful journey that he wore the nation's colors with pride and works his way to become the country's #1 goalkeeper. The 30-year-old, born on 16th June 1990, had 23 caps during his 8 years representing the country on the international stage. He made the announcement on his Facebook page saying, "I will never forget the Football Association in Sierra Leone and also the fans for their support under difficult circumstances." Here is an highlight of his extensive career in France. The news of Solomon Zombo Morris' retirement was greeted with mixed feelings by many soccer-loving Sierra Leoneans. Harold Palmer, an athletics coach, noted that the retirement is not timely and is encouraging the national team to focus on restructuring to give chance to more fresh legs.
I don't think it is timely, but there must be a reason. If you follow up international trend, most of these players, they retired from their country, but they continue to play the professional football because maybe they think that administratively things are not going the correct way and they don't want to get themselves tangled up in the process, so they just decide to back.
Mohamed Bangura, a sports journalist that works for Country Radio, recollects the time Zombo made his debut for the senior national team Leon Stars.
Made his debut on the 2013 against Tunisia. That is his first match he played for the national team, the Leon Stars. According to Zombo Morris, his statement is that he wants to give chance to some of the young players that are coming up, but it's not the time Zombo Morris need to retire from international football because considering his age is about the age of 30 and he has a very young potential to be between the sticks for the national team for like.
David Turner, a football administrator, holds a contrary view that this is an opportunity for the national team officials to look at the area of training more youngsters in goalkeeping.
This is also an opportunity for the national team officials to look at young ones who we can empower, that they can at least step into Solomon's shoe, because ideally he has been there, he has been into the game for a very long time. It's time for him to look at giving his experience to these young boys, because we need his old experience to ginger the young boys.
Sonkari Toronka said Solomon Zombo Morris' decision is good and will create more space for youngsters aiming for top careers in goalkeeping.
He decided to use his discretion so that at least he can get a platform for the young footballers to do okay. Because for the duration he has served in that capacity, for like 5 to 7 to 8 years, he thought and felt that there are more young people who can do it better than him. So with that, he decided to.
With this, we happily draw this edition of Sports Updates to a close. I am Abdul Kabir.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News. Maurice the Wonder Boy is all set to hit our eardrums again with a banger song titled Delilah. Usually, when Maurice wants to release a new song, he will make video drops, okay? So few video drops of Delilah are out and here they are. So, this time, we are not just dangling and posing, we are doing Delilah. And I am eager to see the dance moves in this video. The full song and video will be out on the 25th August.
On my skin like a lotion, a belly dancer in a motion. Oh my God, my Lord, oh me God. This girl want me so. When she roll, the white them a call. Oh me love, this girl love me so.
Again, young Saul the Badman has released his new song titled Kill Person with a diagram of a woman, a big behind buttocks. Maybe that's the posing, that's for men though. The song was produced by the team Salute. According to BBC, Britney Spears has asked the court not to return her father to a role that gave him control over many aspects of her life and career. Jamin Spears has been his daughter's legal conservator for 12 years due to concerns around her mental health. He temporarily stepped aside from the role that overseen her personal affairs in 2019, citing his own health problem. Some of Spears' fans believe she was forced into the arrangement and have been running a
the entertainment desk, we end news hour for tonight. To end the news, the main points again. Principal Public Health Officer, National Malaria Control Program, has said in Freetown that with the intervention of the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, the country has seen less prevalent cases of malaria. Speaking on World Mosquito Day, I disclosed that 59% of malaria prevalence in the northern region, only about 16% in the western area. The Minister of Works and Public Assets, Peter Bayoko Kante, has said that no illegal construction will be allowed on the premises of government quarters. He made the statement during a verification tour of various government quarters within Freetown. And the Manager of National Risk Assessment and Outreach of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Augustine Gega Putan, has told dollar dealers in the Central Business District that government funds own the circulation of fake dollars, its threats to the country's economy and national development. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of the news. Thanks for sharing your time with us. My name is Daphne Zanapuma. Good night and stay